is Savannah, and thank you so much for watching. Today, we are finally diving into the new DLC pack for Planet Zoo. This is the first exhibit utilizing some of the Australian pieces. So the first thing that we are making here today is an exhibit for the koalas. Exhibit, habitat, enclosure, whatever you want to call it. The koalas were overwhelmingly one of the more popular animals announced in the pack, the other three being the dingo, the cassowary, and the red kangaroo, along with the blue-tongued lizard, the exhibit animal. But as far as the main habitat animals, the koala was far up there on a popular level, I guess, as far as some of the polls that I put out. And I'm pretty excited about them too. They are very cute. So that's what we're getting started on today. However, before I get started talking about the build or anything else that I have for you guys today, no doubt you guys have seen the title of the video, and I am so excited to let you guys know that I do have a DLC game code to give away today. I was provided a game code by the wonderful developers over at Frontier, and I am so excited to be able to offer this to you guys. So if you are interested in how to enter to win this code, just go ahead and hang tight until the end of the video. I'll be given the directions just before I sign off today. That being said, the other announcement that I had for you guys today is down below in the description. I almost forgot what it was called. Down below in the description, I have put a link to our shiny brand new Discord server. So upon popular request, I have started up our Discord server. It took me a while because I am new to Discord overall, but also completely brand new to owning and running a server. So I am finally happy to announce that I think it's complete and ready. So that being said, if there are any issues, please feel free to just send me a message or let me know. Happy to fix anything you guys noticed that I didn't. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to continue to grow the community, and I really hope you guys are excited about it and come over and join if that's your kind of thing. All that I ask is that we stay 110% inclusive and family friendly. I am a huge advocate that absolutely anybody and everybody is welcome, and everyone should be nice and kind to everyone. So I did put a few rules on there. Please make sure to read them. But overall, just enjoy. I'm excited for the opportunity to get to chat with you guys more, share ideas, and just kind of collaborate and enjoy the community. I think I'm most excited for the pets channel that I added on there. I'm such a huge animal person and have pets of my own, obviously. So I'm excited to see all of your guys' pets as well. So I hope that's a channel you guys will enjoy. I did post a picture today of my little cockatiel that I rescued recently. His name is Tortellini, so I hope you guys enjoy that photo. He looks really smiley in it. I think he's just the most adorable thing ever, so I wanted to share. But I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope it's something you're excited for. Now, that's all the announcements that I have, so I'm going to get back to talking about what we're actually doing. And first and foremost, wanted to talk about this shade structure here. So when I first heard it was going to be an Australian DLC, the first thing that I think about, not having ever visited Australia myself in person before, the first thing I think about is actually the Australian Zoo, because I'm a huge fan of the Irwin family, and Steve Irwin is one of the main reasons why I'm in the industry that I'm in and why I care so much about animal welfare and things like that. But the second thing that I think about is the Sydney Opera House. If you're looking from a building perspective, that would probably be the first thing I think about as far as architecture goes. So I sat down to try to more so replicated at first. However, that proved to be basically impossible. And as I sat there and then struggled for almost an hour to get started on this, then like 3 days later, Paulsley released a video where he used some of the new pieces and almost replicated it basically perfectly. Showing me up on that one, but that's all right. You know, that's okay. You live and you learn. Anyway, so that's where I kind of failed on my first attempts for that, but then landed on this. And I can't even be mad, really, to be honest, because I'm really happy with how the shade structure turned out. I think it's a really cool combination of the inspiration from the Sydney Opera House without directly replicating it. So I'm actually very happy with how it came out overall. It took me forever, and I will say, you obviously probably noticed that there's no footage of me actually making it, and that's because I started making it before the Australian pack released, but right after it got announced. And I had family over at the time, and when I have family staying or friends staying at my house, they're in my guest room, which is my office, and I wasn't able to play or record or do anything on my desktop computer. So I actually built it on my laptop, which was a headache and a half. However, to add insult to injury, when I tried to transfer the footage over onto my desktop in order to incorporate it in this video, the file got corrupted and I lost it. So yeah, so I apologize that it's not there for you guys today, but as you can see, as I kind of fiddle around with it, it was just lots of duplicating these classic triangular pieces just over and over again. Once I got one kind of layer, duplicate it, raised it, duplicate it, raised it. Then once I got one half, then I flipped that around and kind of, you know, put it a little bit off center? No, off alignment. Whatever. I didn't flip it 180 degrees. I flipped it like 140 degrees, whatever, you know, the math turns out to be. You get the point. Not completely mirrored, but slightly askew. And then that was that. That is kind of how I created it. Another thing that I did, which I did completely cut out altogether because it was incredibly tedious, and to be honest, I thought just very boring. I didn't want you guys to have to sit through it and watch it. Was creating kind of a cap or I guess a cap or like to mask all of the jagged edges that were a result of when the two pieces cross in the middle. There was lots of sticky outy pieces. That's the official term, by the way, sticky outy pieces. But you can see me here playing with the plaster pieces, and I basically just made it smooth and made it look like a structure versus all these little pieces going everywhere and having to fiddle with pushing them back in and rotating them, and just, oh, that would have been extremely time consuming. So I just masked it with some plaster pieces. So like I said, I cut that out because it would be extremely boring, at least in my opinion. So hopefully you guys aren't too upset about that. But it also, I think, would have made the video like an hour long because that was a ridiculously long process, which took me forever. Anyway, so underneath here, just decorating with some of the desert biome plants, which I haven't really actually ever used before, but I am really happy with how it came out in the colors that they have. So I'm pretty excited that this has kind of allowed me to expand. It's still obviously a very modern build because, you know, people have a certain style. They like a certain thing. I mean, I like modern stuff, which is actually funny as a side note because my personal house and my personal taste and style is not modern. So I don't know why I have such ease building in a modern style, but I do, and I do like it. I like everything that I build in Planet Zoo. Otherwise, I don't think I'd feel comfortable putting it in a video format and letting you guys see it. But I just find that funny that it's very different from my personal taste, at least what I like my house and stuff to look like. And now I've lost my train of thought. I went off on a tangent and now I lost where I started. Apologies, guys. It's been a very, very, very busy week for me. This video is one day delayed, so I super appreciate the patience. School is all virtual for me this year, or this semester rather, because of the current situation in the world. And not that I'm struggling, but it is a very, very different thing to get used to when I've been going to in-person classes my entire school career. So trying to get everything coordinated. And then of course I still work full time as well as go to school, as well as make these YouTube videos. So I just couldn't make it happen this week. So thank you for being patient that it is one day delayed. I hope it's worth the wait because I'm pretty excited about this one. And as far as about the build in total, my original plan was just kind of do this as a one-off and kind of do the Australian animals as added into River Rock Zoo and Sakura Zoo. However, I'm kind of a huge fan of this style, this aesthetic, so let me know down below what you think about adding the other Australian animals into this zoo and creating more of a park instead of just, you know, random habitat in the middle. So let me know what you think about that, because I'm totally happy to do that as well. But I also do not want to forget about the polar bears in River Rock Zoo, and then I actually have another project started for Sakura Zoo as well. I just don't want to get lost in all the projects, and I don't want you guys waiting like a month in between each episode for each zoo. So just let me know what you think, so that I can make sure to focus on the one that is most interesting to you guys. I did also decide on this one to make it in, I think it's like the grassland Australian map biome rather than the outback one, because the tones of the grass are much more appealing to me than the outback one. I feel like if I chose the very orangey sand, I would have to commit to like a total outback style zoo, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I wanted to try to do something very different, like as if this was somewhere other than Australia, but they're trying to make it look Australia-y, if that makes sense. Just kind of themed and stylized, using the pieces and everything, but not completely like this zoo is not in Australia. This zoo is somewhere else in the world. I don't know, pick a country. It's somewhere else in the world that is very nicely temperatured and has very nice weather. Okay, anyway, we're gonna ignore that sentence and move on. So again, very happy with how it kind of turns out, and very happy to continue if that's something you guys are interested in seeing. In a little bit here, I get started on the backstage area. I'm trying to think about in the order that I build this, because I have had to build this in kind of like sections. Oh, that's right. I start on this, which is kind of a running theme throughout the whole underneath area, the viewing area, is using the same kind of plants all throughout, but then lining it with these fallen tree branches or logs, as well as the rusty pieces. And then I end up putting a railing on top of that center wall divider as well, with the rusted pieces and actually some of the rope from the South American pack that kind of hold them together. And this is where I start thinking about where the backstage area is going to be. I don't build it just yet, but you'll see it in a little while. I end up doing something very stylized with the idea of, I'm a huge Disney fan and I go to Disneyland all the time, and am very excited for whenever they're able to safely open again. However, something that Disney does very well is they hide the backstage stuff from the view of the guests, or at least if they can't hide it, they make it look like it's part of the land or part of the theme. So that's what I wanted to do with this enclosure being lowered down, and when you walk in, the idea was to have the guests at the same eye level as the koalas, but that means that from the viewing platform you can see the backstage building, where I think I put a keeper hut and a staff building, if I remember right. So, that being said, I do kind of make that more of an Australian themed building with the different pitched roofs and the corrugated roof, and I use the same wood pieces, but I make a little deck outside and I put a couple chairs, and I know I mentioned in my Australian overview that I don't think I would ever find a use for the koala, like the barbecue light, but I threw that over there in the staff area because I think it was cute, and this is a koala habitat, so why not? So I end up doing that back behind there, so when you look out, it looks like it kind of fits in the background, almost like, you know, it's out in the outback on the other side, like it's out more in the wilderness. I don't know. If that makes sense, great. If not, sorry for being confusing, or I guess just scatterbrained today. I didn't touch on this background piece. This is just the metal bars. I said in my overview that the metal rustic pieces and then these wood pieces were going to be my favorite, and oh my gosh, they are my favorite. I love them. I love that they're off the grid. I love the colors and the patterns and the textures and everything about them. I love them. So that's also part of why I wanted to throw out the idea of continuing in this style, because I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys are too, again, just let me know, and happy to continue. Throwing in some trees here, getting all the eucalyptus, along with those feeder trees. I love that they match really well with the eucalyptus trees, because I love that they just look like they're another tree that got added a little feeder onto. So I end up getting 3 koalas in one side and 2 koalas in the other, because you may have caught it there, but I put those rocks in the middle and I split this habitat up into 2. Just because I wanted to be able to fit more koalas in here than what they would would be happy with group-wise in the game. I always try to follow the welfare and the needs of the animal so that if you're playing this in franchise or sandbox or whatever the case may be, when it does eventually get loaded up onto the Steam Workshop, it can fit the needs of the animal. Anyway, going back to this, you can see here, this is the little Outback House that I was talking about, or the staff house. I end up making a little deck out of the pallets, because that's another piece I was excited for, and then throwing down some of the wood panel pieces and actually some of the signs without writing anything on them to make it look kind of like a mashed together, impromptu, I guess, fixed with lots of boards. I don't know. You can see it, you know, whatever you want to call it, however you want to describe it, making the deck that way, and that's kind of what I put the seats and things on. With that, to be honest, this is going to be a little bit more of a shorter voiceover. I really, really do hope you enjoyed, and as promised, the DLC code that I have to give away, there's a couple things you've got to do to enter. So if you're interested in entering that, you've got to, 1, subscribe to the channel. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check down below. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Leave a like on the video, and then comment down below. Let me know what you are most excited for in the DLC, whether it's the animal you're most excited for, something that you're most excited for as far as build piece, if you're most excited to get a DLC code because you're not able to afford one otherwise, or you're wanting to get a code for a friend or a family member that you want to gift it to, whatever the reason is that you would want the DLC code, just let me know down below. I'll be putting all the names into a random picker, selector, generator, whatever the program is called, and it'll pick one name and I will contact that person privately. So yeah, just go ahead and I will contact you. Go ahead and comment down below and let me know, subscribe, and then of course leave a like on the channel, and I will be picking somebody in about a week. I'll announce it on my next video that should be going out the 11th. If I check the calendar, yeah, the 11th should be next Friday. So it's a week from today when I'm recording, but it's 6 days away from when this video actually goes live. So good luck. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, if you do have any comments, suggestions, or feedback, you can leave those down below as well. Join the Discord server, all that kind of fun YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you, and bye-bye. Bye.